A perfect day for me would include food. It would involve riding a horse and it would involve a spa. If I could get off a horse into a jacuzzi and have Prosecco and or champagne in my glass and lots of dear close friends from home, then that would be all I could want. Like I ain't gotta care. Ooh. If I was to have a dinner, do you know what? If I had anyone as a dinner guest, I think it would be Mavis Staples. Because they say don't meet your heroes unless they're Mavis Staples. When you see her doing what she does best, and when you see her just kind of happening upon her, as I did on an airplane or on stage when we played Luck Reunion in Texas, is the same Mavis, consistent, loving, so hopeful, so just magnificent and graceful simultaneously. She's got all this amazing energy, but so over herself. It's magical. I'd love to have her as a dinner guest.
What is one thing that you would like to know from Mavis?
Ooh, I think I'd like to know what Martin Luther King was like. Like, just like how did he chill? Like when he was off the campaign trail, like trying to save kind of Black lives from straight up extinction. How did he just chill, you know? What was his drink? Did he drink? Was he like stone cold sober? Like, what was his chill vibe, you know? I was going over to Nashville to start recording this record and she was obviously going somewhere to do something. And I just came around the corner off the kind of little path that leads to the kind of door of the airplane. And I was like, oh, Mavis. Like I knew her, like, you know, like I'd ever met her before. And she was like, oh, hey. Just like, you know, cool. Like it ain't anything. I'm like, you're right. Because what else are you gonna say? And she's like, yeah, you know. And I'm like, hi, I'm Yola, nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm not gonna be that person. I'm just gonna say you're wonderful and very important to me musically and humanly and activist-y, bye, kind of thing. And she was just like, oh, cool, oh, thanks, you know. I'm like, okay, I'm going that way, away from you. You go to the nice bit, I'll go to the poor people's bit. So yeah, it was pretty magical. Through these flames of destruction. Like loads of people have had like, you know, the dysfunctional family type dynamic, you know, it's not special or unique. My mother passed and like we're all like just estranged and stuff. It was awful, but at the same time, it's still something that focuses, depending on who you are, your will to connect. Because when you don't really have any family, you know, you build that, you know, because, you know, no man or woman for that matter is an island. The environment that I build for myself, it's so important to connect. Certainly you'll hear this from women kind of far and wide, that there are environments that don't let them self-actualize. And that was definitely number one, like people that accepted me as I was, you know, certainly as like not being in a bro environment that thinks the word feminism's a dirty word, or, you know, being extra. And not being too much or not being not enough because, you know, you're not kind of blonde haired or blue eyed or something like, and then your value being kind of whittled down to a certain quality because you're a woman kind of thing. Like, you know, you're either kind of, you know, in that box or that box. I don't really like being boxed as a person. And so it was really important to find an environment that allowed me to be kind of multifaceted as a human, and that was always going to lead to me being able to be more multifaceted creatively. I think I definitely like hit rock bottom where it dawned on me that the environment that I was in was just not designed for me at all. And you're like, right, okay, so almost everyone that I've been spending most of my time with is dreadful. I got to a point where I was just like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life right now. I got out of music. I didn't really do much music for 3 years. There was no worse that I could experience. I was in an abusive relationship. I was in a network that, because I was a woman of color, thought that I was basically the Hulk and I couldn't be remotely vulnerable. And so there was an environment where, and I think certainly I was in an environment where I could speak, and it was like I was speaking a completely other language. The things that I said make no sense. The things that I wanted to do make no sense. I'd been in a situation where they were like, oh, you don't have the inclination to play guitar. You shouldn't bother. Just don't. Like, you already have the entire top line. No one else does lyrics and melody. So let us do that and you do this. You don't have the inclination anyway, so you probably shouldn't bother. You talked about like my dream day. Like, in my old life, I'd be alone on that dream day. They'd be like, no one wants to do that with you. I'm like, there are too many people that would want to do that with me in my life as is. There are lots of people that will get up in your face and go, look at me. And the really lovely people, they've been in your life since forever, but they're just not going to be right here. You've got to go, excuse me. Hi, you, yes, let's hang out. Sorry, they're loud. But when you're in your, late teens and early 20s, you're not always hearing that, you can get distracted. I think that was easy for me. The older you get, the more you realize you've just got like a handful of absolute golden people. Ooh, I think it smelled like sycamore seeds and like just climbing up trees, and maybe like a little bit of like cut grass, lots of kind of cut grass, hay, that kind of like early summer, just about to get out of school, falling out of 5 trees, done my knees in. Yeah, that. I'm always this sarcastic.